Hi, Nyanko. So, which programming language is used to create a website? Websites are complex pieces of technology. So you have to learn HTML, you have to know CSS, you have to learn JavaScript. That is for front-end web programming. And then you also have backend, which is where all the data is stored. Let me just quickly show you how a website works. If you look at a website and you right-click on the website and you click on view source, this is HTML. And HTML is just where all the information is presented to you. And then you will find that the styling of the site is controlled by CSS. CSS files control how the site looks like. So all the colors that you see, all the lines that you see, all the borders, the consistency, like the fonts, even the fonts, or the line spacing, how bold looks. You know, in our articles, we have coding snippets, right? You look at all these code snippets, okay, they are controlled by CSS as well. So CSS controls the visual. And anytime you have something that moves, the ad here moves, right? It's controlled by JavaScript. The sidebar here moves, it's controlled by JavaScript as well. So then basically in the front end, which is the display portion, whatever shows up in your browser, you control it by using HTML to display information. You use CSS to display the style, which is the colors, the borders, everything that has to do with the look of the site. And anything that moves, anything that changes the content of your page as you interact with the site, that is managed by JavaScript. We also have a backend portion of the site which manages the storage of data. Forums store posts from our users. And then, of course, if you want to log in as well, you have to have a storage of all the users' email address and passwords. And this is how, you know, we verify users, right? So then all of this is served by a database. Usually these databases are run on SQL or MySQL. So the MySQL database stores all the information about, say for example, we have a Patreon list over here. Okay, it stores information about all our patrons. It stores information about all our posts that are on the forums, as well as all the individual articles that are on the site itself. Alright, so all of the data behind is stored by SQL, and then it's served by a language called PHP. So PHP is the language that organizes the SQL information and then pushes it out onto your browser as HTML. So basically, web development, just to give a quick summary, web development consists of front-end development, which is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then back-end development, which is the data storage portion, which is PHP and MySQL. There are alternatives to the languages that I've listed, but oftentimes if you deploy a website, if you are deploying, for example, we use WordPress over here, you'll be using something called a LAMP stack. A LAMP stack is like this. So you have Linux, and then you have Apache, which is the program that runs that serves the HTML. Then you have MySQL, and then you have PHP. So Apache is what serves the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. So you might be wondering, why is it that we don't have a representation of this on the server? Because these scripts are run on your browser. Okay, so just a quick overview of how websites work. It's pretty complicated, right? So I would say if you want to get started, where should you start? You want to start by learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript first. And then what this allows you to do is this allows you to create websites that are static. Static means that users cannot log in, cannot log out, they cannot change the content on your site. So once you get that down, then you can start looking into MySQL and you can start looking into PHP. So start here first, because these three usually work together, and then after that you learn these once you master how to code static sites. Or you can just load up WordPress and then you can just start from there as well. And then you can just create your sites from there. Because, you know, like there is no one way to learn. If you want to learn everything in a more holistic and comprehensive way, then you can do the traditional method. Otherwise, just load up WordPress, install WordPress on your site, and then just play around a bit and then see if you can create your site using that as well. I hope I've answered your question, and I hope I didn't forget to share my screen. So let me just quickly show you how a website works. What is a static site? It is. Am I sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen. So let me just restart the whole thing. I'm so sorry. This time. Let me know if you have any other questions, alright?